Just started the stream. We are live, so watch what you say.
I said you turned the shit on?
Hang on, Rick. What are you waiting for?
Chris is finishing off his car.
Oh, Chris. You don't want Chris today. I didn't know Chris was even here.
Yeah, he said you were listening. He said, thank you, Jen.
We love you, Chris.
Murder with an F though.
I think we need a track change. Can somebody post that?
Don't start no shit, won't be no stay. Fuck! Hey Rick. What everybody's doing? Hey man, tell Chris I think that when I was looking at it, he needs to check the spacing between that servo saver and his servo. I think he needs to put a shim there because I think it's rubbing on the servo.
CJ.
Well, I got my orange one on when we get out for short.
Yeah, now we're back. We hear that every day.
Hey man, that's the first time I've ever heard it.
Man, that shit reach out and grab. You know what I'm saying?
This is a 17.5 one shot. Let's go, Marshall's bouncer.
Yeah, waiting for you guys.
With what?
T-minus 30 seconds.
Next time I'm coming with one of those little bean counter games, 20 whatever. You guys can go. I'll make the sound. Just go click, click, click.
What was that commercial where the guy's all like, you know, this is pretty much wipers on and playing in the truck.
All right, we're just going to have 4 this round. Chris is taking too long, so we're looking for Jim to check in. He's been up there for a while. Not sure why he isn't yet. Probably just slacking off. Rick's making his way up to the stand. Other 2, you guys are checked in.
Who else is for F1 Marshall?
Hey, you guys are all fucking pissed at him.
F1 Marshall?
If we could get an F1 Marshal, that would be great. Or just a Marshal in general.
Turn it on. Left side, back.
One Marshal.
Thank
I
you.
am a professional.
He said you ain't got something with a fucking button.
Oh, then how do we mark serial number 776?
All right, everybody is checked in.
Is it modular?
If you need one more lap, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, just park it on the straight.
Sporty, man. Looking sporty. Do that for the game, like,
All right, John, David, Jim, and Rick is your order. It is set to tone. Tone start.
Oh, Loki.
What is this?
Tone start. You ain't got to get out of the way.
All right. 17.5 GTR. John, you're going to lead him around, but everybody is going to go on the tone in less than 5. Mr. John Stout leading him around. Dave following him. Jim and Rick close behind. Down the straight they go for the first lap of the first qualifier of the night. Dave blowing that corner wide, getting into both Jim and Rick. Jim hitting the corner not long after, so Rick moves up to the 2, Dave down to the 3, and Jim all the way down to the 4 spot. He got the worst of that one. Meanwhile, John is running away with it a little bit. He's got a good bit of breathing room between him and Rick. Closest battle right now is between Rick and Dave. 2.1 between John and Rick, 7/10 between Rick and Dave, and 1.4 between David and Jim. It's like David having a bit of, or not David, Jim having a bit of a moment come through the crosstown, back into his car looking a little loose. Rick running that sweet-looking silver
4
Porsche
minutes
Carrera
left.
GT with those red offset racing stripes. That's been his signature for years. And it is that silver Porsche holding down the 2 spot, but that red Corvette of David Johnson coming in to savage him. Closing the gap a little bit now. Last time they were 3/10 apart. This time still 3/10. So right now we got John out front still, 28.508 for him. Hot lap of a 10.8. That's pretty good for tonight. Track's pretty slow. Got Rick still holding down the 2 spot, 27.506 for him. Hot lap 11.0. David Johnson holding out behind him. Looks like he had a bit of a moment, didn't see it. He was at 4:10s. He's on a 27.509 right now. Hot lap 10.9. This time by, he's 1.6 behind Rick. Jim now
3
closing
minutes
up
left.
behind him. He's holding down the 4 spot on a 26.502. Just threw down his hot lap of a 10.9. Down the straight, those two go. Jim going for a move on the inside. He tucks Dave, but makes the move. Uh-oh, John. John getting parked in the garage. Gets a reasonably quick marshal from the announcer, but that is going to drop him all the way down to the 3rd spot, unfortunately. He's got his work cut out for him, but we're 2.5 in at 2.5 to go, so he's still got time to bring it back. Jim McGee moving up to the 2 spot after all that, just threw down his hot lap of a 10.90, almost a 10.8 for him. His car's looking better and better as his tires scrub in. Looks like we got Chris walking out, going to join the mix in these last 2 minutes of the race.
2 minutes left.
He's mumbling something, but I don't know. So, 3 down, 2 to go. Rick, Jim, John, and Dave is the order. Rick's out front right now. He's on a 27.505. 27.507 for Jim behind him. 9/10 between them. Battle for first is the closest battle on the track. That's the silver Porsche and the yellow Corvette. Behind them, closing in lap by lap, 2.3 behind right now. John Stout, 27.511 for him. Just moved up from the 26 lap pace after that incident a few laps ago. David Johnson holding down the 4 spot, 26.503 for him. Not super close to anyone right now. Looks like Jim closing in on Rick, and he threw down a new hot lap a couple laps ago at 10.82
1
for
minute
him,
left.
a little bit faster than John's 10.87 earlier in the race. Coming down to that final minute of the race, your leader, Rick, going down the straight, closely followed by Jim, this time across the line, 3/10, almost 4/10 between them. Jim's hungry, coming into those corners hot. Rick making a bit of a mistake coming through that left side of the track. Blows a bit wide, but he's able to close the door and keep Jim at bay. This time down the straight, a 1/10.5 between them. We do have another yellowish Corvette out there. That's Chris. I think he's mostly just testing to make sure his car is drivable right now. It's not even registering him running. Rick looks like making a mistake, getting into the crosstown. Watch going on straight, watch going on straight. That's Dave, looks like he's on his lid. Joey running over to Marshall. Time has expired. Looks like Dave's just gonna pull it. You could at least drive it across and finish it. Everybody's still on the clock.
5's done. 4's done.
Rick and Jim, you guys
2
are
is
done.
done.
John's done. Chris, you're not even on the clock. So everybody is done. Rick's going to take that one despite a relentless charge from Jim, setting that TQ at a 27.506. Jim McGee taking the hot lap of the race, though. All right. 25.5 VTA. You guys are up. We're going to need an announcer and some marshals.
F1 and GTR.
Said you were running this, you dipshit.
So if you're not running and your motor's not used, my motor, I'm sure it only has a few runs left.
Ready for round 2. Don't worry about it.
All right. You guys a couple laps here. All right, the lamp's going to be Ben, Michael, Russ, and Rick, and it's currently set to a tone. Do we want tone or staggered? All right, we're doing tone, which means everyone will go at the tone. All right, Marshall ready. That's why I said Marshall. And driver's ready, less than 5. Oh, Michael gets the sack. Oh, and he tries to take advantage of it. Rick's is not on my watch. No, Russ is going to give him a little bit more love. Some savagery there. A little stripe on stripe crime there going on. All right, well, Ben gets a good little break away from everybody. Rick's got a nice breathing room between him. Looks like Michael and Russ are catching up to Rick a little bit. All right. So after 4 laps, we got Ben out in front, followed by Rick, Russ, Michael, and Ben is currently on a 28.507 pace.
4 minutes left.
Oh, side by side going down the straightaway. The race is 3rd and 4th place here. Michael trying to get back up on Russ. He's like, I owe you one, buddy. Oh, Michael takes a little help from the board. Driving that car like it's a slot car. All right, about 3.5 minutes left in the race. Still got Ben out in front, followed by Rick, Russ, Michael, Ben on a 28.507, Rick on a 26.50, Russ on a 26.502, and Michael on a 26.505. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th are really close to each other. Looks like Russ is making a little bit of a gap from him and Michael, catching up on the back of Mr. Rick
3
there.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes left in the race, drivers. Russ's car is looking pretty good. Currently 1/100th of a second behind Rick on the clock anyway. You know, Michael taking a little hit on that tube. Ben starting to come back up through the traffic. Russ is getting right up on the back of Rick. Let's see if Rick can keep it smooth, hold him off. Oh, Russ takes a little bit of a hit on the tube there, sits him back a little bit.
Two minutes left.
2 minutes left in the race, drivers. Oh, someone's up. Watch out going onto the straightaway. Go tight going onto the straightaway. Go tight. Clear. All right, with 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the race, still got Ben out front, followed by Rick, Russ, Michael. 1 second separates Rick and Russ. Oh, little tab. Ben comes right up on the back of Russ.
One minute left.
I believe Ben's running the V21 out there. I think.
No, he's running, aren't you running that speed zone?
Yeah, I got a speed zone.
Oh, speed zone. Oh, wow. Oh. All right, 30 seconds left in the race, drivers.
Pressure.
Oh, Ben gets the lollipop hit there. That's the time,
Five's
drivers.
done.
Rick, you're done.
Four's done.
Russ, you're
One's
done. Ben, you're done. And
Three is
Michael,
done.
you're done. All right, Ben takes that with a 27.502, followed by Rick, Russ, and Michael.
Jesus Christ, I'm slow.
What was my pass there? 11-1?
All right, next up, F1. That's going to be Ben, Chris, David, and Joey.
Michael's about to throw a rod.
I might let Jim drive it, see what he thinks, because he's drove my car a couple times and he was some major things. I was gaining on you, Ricky. I was trying, and then I bumped you really bad, and then I thought it. What's that? It's gotten better. Getting better and better every time. I'm afraid of changing even now. Okay, maybe I need to tighten up the butt end a little bit. Yours look good, Mike. I kept kicking you out, but. I had a massage today, so I'm all nice and. I did, the first time ever. Worked out a 20 last week with Christmas. She's booked it, you know, going on vacation. And I was like, all right, I don't know. Then I went and I was like, okay, this could get addicting. Hey, what's that blue and white thing out there? Where'd that thing come from?
Hey, Russ, can you push that inside board out to the out? Yeah, just push out. Sometimes it messes with guys. They watch that inside board and they run right into it. Yeah, just push it straight. There you go. All right, so some brotherly love going out to get some bashing going on early.
I don't have any brakes.
All right, so the order will be Ben, Chris, David, and Joey. And we're currently set at a staggered start for this one.
My vote's Tone. My vote's staggered.
The other two, what do you want?
Staggered.
Staggered, all right, staggered it is. All right, Marshall's ready. Driver's ready. Again, the order's Ben, Chris, David, Joey. Ben, lead us off at the tone, less than 5. All right, we'll give folks a few laps here before we start calling out the times. Ben's trying to find that straight line through the little chicane up at the top. Welcome Mr. Joey back to the racing. All right, after 3 laps, we got Ben out in front, followed by Chris, Joey, and David. Ben currently on a 29.507.
Four minutes left.
All right, about 3.5 minutes left in the race. Still got Ben out front, followed by Chris, David, and Joey. Ben on a 29.504 pace, Chris on a 28.50, David 27.501, and Joey on a 27.503. Oh, a couple folks get the leader off his pace. Mr. Chris get right back behind him. See where we are after this lap.
3 minutes left.
3 minutes left in the race. So after that debacle, we got Chris now out front, followed by Ben, Joey, and David. All right, Ben definitely laying down the faster laps by almost a half a second. Getting around to David there a little bit, getting around him. Chris trying to get around Mr. David now. Thank you, Mr. David. Oh, that was not good for Mr. Ben. That gets Chris like way out in the front now. Yeah.
2 minutes left.
All right, 2 minutes left in the race. Got Chris out in front, followed by Joey, David, and Ben. Chris is currently on a 28.503. Joey on a 27.506. David on a 27.509, and Ben on a 26.508. Oh, David's rear end is very loose. No one likes a loose rear end. Except for Rick, he likes to let it all hang out. All right, coming up on a minute left in the race. Drivers got Chris out in front, followed by Joey, David, and Ben. Chris continuing on that 28.503.
1 minute left.
All right. So with 40 seconds left in the race, it's Chris, now Ben, Joey, and David. Ben a little over one lap behind Chris. Not much time to make that up, but yeah, Ben's clear, or yeah, his is clear the fastest with a 10.2 out there to Chris's 10.5. And the averages is a lot better too, so. It wasn't like just a super lap. His average is faster. All right, that's time. Keep going until I tell you you're done.
2 is done.
Chris is done.
1 is done.
Ben's done. Just waiting for Joey and David to cross.
3 is done.
David's done and Joey
4
is
is
done.
done.
All right, Chris takes that with a 28.502.
You got something loose on there, man. I can hear it rattling.
How long do we want before we start round 2? It's 7 o'clock now. All right, we'll start at 7:20.
No, you run that front, I'm running your BTO. That was the deal. 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
might win. I doubt it. I think you'd have to cheat.
Eleven four. 11-1. 11-6. 11-0. 11-4. 11-7. 11-2. 13-5. 12-2. 11-2. 11-5. 11-0. 11-3. 11-3. 11-5. 11-5. 11-2. 11-1. 11-3. 11-0. 13-9. 11-0. 12-1. 11-0. 11-5. 11-1. 11-3. 11-5. 11-7. 11-1. 11-6. 11-2. 11-9. 11-2. 12-6. 14-5. 11-3. 11-7. 11-6. 11-6.
Has a new round already been created? All right, 17.5 GTR round 2. You guys are good to check in.
Yeah, we had 10 like that in June.
Dave, you gonna make this one? All right, we will have all 5 GTR drivers. Everybody is checked in other than Dave, who's making his way out pretty soon here.
Once you drive my F1 in the next F1 race, all you gotta do is go for six on my F back.
I'll only drive it if it's good. If it's shit, then I'm driving my own car. All right, everybody is checked in. Straightaway is closed. Once Chris is done doing whatever he's doing, he seems determined to delay the race every time. We can line them up. It's still set to tone. Rick, Jim, John, David, and Chris is the order. Jim already spinning it out. Yeah, that's good enough.
2 mile an hour, not even this.
All right. 17.5 GTR, aka Rick and the Corvettes. Everybody is going to go on the sound of the tone. Less than 5. All right, leading them around, Rick. We got all sorts of chaos going on. Some cars hit. Dave's on his lid. After all that, after lap 1, Rick out front with some breathing room. We got Chris following him, holding down a strong second place after missing that first round, but John Stout behind him. He was looking to take that first round before an unfortunate mistake. He's all over the back of Chris, but Chris savages him out of the way. Looks like something may not be right on that car. Looks like, unfortunately, John's already out. So that's just going to leave 4 drivers. So, coming up on 1 minute in already. We got Rick Wilcox out
4
front
minutes
right
left.
now. He is on a 27.50, better than TQ pace, hot lap 10.899. Ooh, big shunt out of Dave coming onto the straight, but he lands on his wheels and keeps on going. So we got Chris and Jim, 2 and 3, the 2 yellow Corvettes battling it out down the straight through that crosstown. Chris in front of Jim. Chris is on a 26.503, Jim a 27.501, also better than TQ pace because it's a tone start. That can happen with an excellent move on the inside. Jim making his way past Chris. So down the straight, Jim goes, taking that 2 spot. Chris behind him, 0.8 between them. Jim's got 3.1 seconds to make up on Rick if he wants to catch him, but he's got just about 3 minutes to do so. So it is Rick, Jim, Chris, and David.
3 minutes left.
All 4 drivers reasonably spaced out. But if this continues, it's looking like Rick may come up on the back of Dave to try and put a lap on him. Hot laps right now. Rick still out there with that 10.899. Jim McGee throwing down a blistering fast 10.73. Chris out there with an 11.0 and David with a 10.9. So Chris, the only one not in the 10s yet. So this time by, last I said it was 3.1, now it's 2.6. Jim McGee slowly but surely trying to close that gap on Rick, 2:15 to go. David Johnson throwing down a new hot lap, 10.90, almost a 10.8. But it is still Jim McGee with that
2 minutes
blistering
left.
10.7 he threw down on lap 4 with that hot lap of the race so far. And there it is, David Johnson with a 10.8. So, Rick, that silver Porsche going down the straight. Jim not far behind him. He's made up a ton of time, 1.7 between him. He's made up almost a second since the last time the separation was announced. And we got a minute 30 left in the race. Rick and Jim still both on better than TQ pace. Rick on a 27.501, Jim on a 27.502. Chris on a 27.509, and David also on a 27.509. Tone starts are interesting. David actually starting to close the gap on Chris, 1.6 between him and Chris. And this time by, 1.7 still between Rick
1
and
minute
Jim.
left.
Jim's got a minute to close that gap, try and make a move on Rick for the 1 spot. Because as of right now, the only person looking to move up is Chris. Jim looking like he's making up a ton of time. Goes from 1.7 to 9/10 between them. Down the straight, those two go. Rick across the line, Jim across the line, 8/10. He made up a 10th that time. He's got to do better than that. He's only got 25 seconds. Down the straight they go, 6/10 now, 2/10 on that lap. 15 seconds left. It may come down to the final lap when he has a chance to make a move. Meanwhile, David is slowly but surely closing in on Chris, but with about 5 seconds left, it's not looking like much will happen, barring any massive failures. Time has expired. Keep going
One
until I
done,
call you
two is
done.
done.
Rick and Jim, you guys are both done. Rick managing to hold Jim off, keeping him from getting close
5's
enough.
done. 4's
Chris and
done.
David, you guys are done. Rick Wilcox resetting TQ for 17.5 GTR, 27.502 for him. But Jim had the hot lap of the race again. All right, 25.5 VT, Says 25.5 F1 is up next. Not sure how that happened. So 25.5 VTA, you guys are up. Whoever is the next announcer, when you click save race, you're probably just gonna have to go back into the race and go back to F1.
All right, 25.5 VTA.
Chris, do you need to work in your car?
No, I'm good. Ben, did you just skip F1?
Yeah, I skipped F1. So it's when you hit save race, it's gonna go back to the normal screen. You just hit race. You just hit race again, like going into the next round. But it'll pull up round 4 of 3, and it'll be blank. You just gotta click that minus button to go back to round 2.
Yeah, I'll let you do it when you're done.
If that's too confusing, if that's too confusing, I can do it. I know how to make it work. This has happened.
All right, so I'm going to click a bunch of buttons and screw some stuff up. All right, just waiting on Rick and Jim Johnson. All right, everyone's checked in. Order's going to be Ben, Rick, Russ, Michael, and David. I have absolutely no clue.
It's down at the bottom.
Bottom right. Very bottom right. Or left.
Yeah, bottom left where all the info is.
It says staggered. It's 2 radial buttons. It's the staggered and then tone.
Okay, it's set for tone.
All right, perfect. That's what we lined up for.
All right. Driver's ready, marshal's ready. Everyone's going to go on the sound of the tone in less than 5. Rick gets bumped out early. So after that first lap, your order is Ben, Russ, Michael, Jim, and Rick. Rick with a rough go these first 2 laps. Not going to say any names, but as of right now, 2 drivers are on TQ pace. Four laps in, Ben is on a blistering 28.503. Hot lap of a 10.6.
4 minutes left.
Russ in the 2, also on TQ, 27.502. Then Michael, Jim, and Rick. Dave just jumped down in the 10s. Him and Ben are the only drivers with 10-second laps. Everyone else has 11 ones. Marshall. Let's see who was out. That's Michael. So that's going to put Rick up into the 4 spot. Dave up to the 3. Dave just had a 10.8. Not as fast as Ben's 10.6 on lap 4. Russ is falling off TQ pace. Ben is the only driver left on TQ right now. Dave is 1.4 behind Russ, and Rick's 2.4 behind Dave. Russ is 3 seconds back from Ben. Ben's throwing it down right now with that ugly body.
3 minutes left.
It's actually not that bad. Can't see who, but Rick has some trouble in front of the stand. That's not going to help him catching up to Dave. 6 seconds back. Dave's closing in on Russ. 4:10 separating David and Russ. Oh, sorry, Jim. Keep saying David.
You're gonna say what black face you see when you look up there.
.220 to go. Your orders: Ben, Russ, Jim, Rick, and Oh, Jim screws up, giving Russ some breathing room.
2 minutes left.
I missed it, but Jim threw down the hot lap of the race with a 10.65, eclipsing Ben's 10.68. Ben's still on that TQ pace of 28.509. Jim is already right back up on Russ. Looking in and out. Takes the outside line and makes the pass. That was a good move by Jim. Then, oh, Jim is just mayhem out here.
Yeah, Jim ain't having it.
Ben, if Jim closes in on you, I suggest you just get out of the way, man. Not looking like that's going to happen, though, with 1:10 left. It's an 8-second gap. So as long as Ben keeps it clean, he should be taking the TQ for tonight.
1 minute left.
Can't see who's... Oh, is Michael stuck in front of the stands? Jim was closing in. It was a 5-second gap, but he had a tab. Now it's down to 9. 15 seconds to go. Keep it clean and you'll take this one home, Ben. That is
3 is
time.
done.
Russ, you're done.
2 is done.
Rick, you're done. Oh, taking out the lead.
4 is done. 1 is done. 5 is
Everybody
done.
is done. Ben took that with a new TQ of a 28.510. Good race, boys.
Jim kicked ass. Huh?
Ben, to the announcer stand. Ben, so I just say race, right?
Yeah, hit race, and it'll bring up just a blank screen, and there'll be a plus and minus on the bottom. You see it? Let me see, make sure you click the right one. Yeah, just hit that twice.
25.5 F1, that's myself, Ben, David, and Joey. Yeah. David's out of F1.
All right, 25.5 F1. It's Chris, Ben, David, and Joey. I know David's out, so it should be a clean race. Nope.
Hey, Chris, you should fix that board.
Which one?
The one my car's right next to. It's stuck out all weird. We got plowed into it last round.
So Ben will be driving or starting off with a -1 lap deficit. He's like, wait, what? Hey, David, can you push this board out up here for these guys? I think he did that on purpose. Thank you, sir. Yep, Michael took your spot. He's busy eating cookies. Somebody will come off the track with a cookie stuck in their wheel. All right, we got everybody checked in. We are set for staggered start. Is that what we want? Yeah, I'm good with it. All right, staggered start. So the order will be Chris, Ben, and Joey.
Is that why you're not racing? Is that why you're not racing? That's right.
All right.
I can't race with a bunch of crybabies.
Marshall's ready. Drivers ready. Again, at the tone, Chris will lead. Everyone else, space yourselves out. Less than 5. All right, we got a pretty good run here. No one bashing and crashing. All right, so after 3 laps, we got Ben out in front, followed by Chris, then Joey. Both Ben and Chris are on a better than TQ pace. Ben is currently on a 29.502, Chris on a 29.510, and Joey 27.503. Ben slams down a fast lap of a 10.2. Oh,
4 minutes
Chris
left.
gets stuck into the tube. It's all right, he's trying to shake out all the bugs out. Oh, he lost like a whole front half of his wing. I hear Michael, the M&M store has been open for the day, and he probably has some parts for you. All right, about 3.5 minutes left in the race. Still got Ben out front. Joey now in second, followed by Chris. So Ben's still on better than TQ pace, so a 29.503, Joey 27.502, and Chris at 27.504. So about 2 seconds between second and third. Watch out going around Joey's good. Watch Ben clear.
You don't need that front wing. It don't do nothing. It's just a bumper. Just something to break.
3 minutes
Yeah,
left.
unfortunately now it's his front left wheel that'll take it.
Yeah, it's an X-ray. It's tough. I know that firsthand.
All right, so we still got Ben out in front, followed by Joey and Chris. Ben on a 29.503, dropped off about 1 second. Joey 27.501, and Chris at 25.502.
Goddamn cheater.
Woo, Benny!
So is the lap time column on the scoring system here like the average lap? It kind of looks like it is.
2 minutes left.
No, it's like your last lap. Never mind.
One's
Right.
There's no average as far as I know.
Okay.
I don't think it goes on two. Unless you still put two.
All right, so we're about a minute and a half left in the race. Still got Ben on a TQ pace, 29.502, Joey 27.502, and Chris at 24.504. Ben's average lap times are almost a half a second faster than, it's hard to say because he keeps bouncing all over. Never mind. But he's consistently 10.3s, 10.4s, so.
1 minute left.
Well, it's interesting that's Chris's nemesis corner, where most everybody's is that chicane. All right, coming up about 30 seconds left in the race, drivers. Still got Ben out on a TQ pace, better than TQ pace, I should say. Joey in second, Chris in third. Ben dropped down about 1 second off of his previous pace. All right, that's time. Keep going until I tell you you're done. Everybody is still on the clock.
2 is done.
Ben, you're
4
done.
is done.
Joey, you're done. And
1 is
Chris,
done.
you're done. All right, Ben takes that reset in TQ with a 29.503, Joey a 27.502, and Chris a 25.508. All right, Ben, so you're going to have to come up here and fix it so it doesn't think we're still in heat one, round one, for some reason. All right, and what time do we want to start the next round? It's 7:50 right now. 8:10? All right.
Oh, I meant, yeah, I was thinking between the four, let's do the three. You're gonna fall for the four, three.
I didn't crash. That's good.
Any setup change, I make, send a difference, so. As far as I know, we're not really printing anything out. There should be stuff printing out now. I forgot to hit that button.
All right, round three at
10-8.
8:10, 20 minutes from now. Race order is correct this time.
Ten eight. 10-7. 10-9. 10-7. 10-8. 10-9. 11-5. 11-0. 10-8. 10-9. 10-9. 11-0. 10-8. 10-9. 10-9. 11-0. 11-0. 10-9. 10-9. 11-0. 11-1. 11-2.
'em. Yeah, Dope can charge the battery and I'll just drive it during practice because F1 isn't up first anyways.
10-9. 10-7. 10-6. 12-0. 10-8. 10-6. 10-6. 10-5. 10-6. 10-7. 10-7. 10-5. 10-5. 10-6. 0.3. 11-1. 10-7. 10-7. 13-7. 11-2. 10-9. 10-6. 10-7.
'Could that be better? You just made it worse. Like 5. With an X factor?
With this dead bad.
With an X factor.
30.2.
That's better. 30.2. Wait, what did you type?
13-9.
You got 3 minutes.
10-8. 10-7. 10-6. 10-6. 10-6.
As far as I can tell, you're horrendously overgeared. What's your pinion? Your pinion.
16-3. 10-4. 10-2. 10-5.
You know you have on right now? Associated features.
11-0.
It won't take away that much steering, but the car, like the car is just, it's got a ton of steering, but it's just kicking in so hard in the beginning of the corner.
14-1.
I'd say go softer on the springs. I wouldn't say
11-0.
not softer, stiffer, definitely stiffer.
10-3. 10-3. 10-3. 10-5. 10-3. 10-6. 10-1. 10-5.
Definitely needs less gearing. But now that it's scrubbed in, I actually don't know about the spring. It's actually feeling pretty good. Maybe go softer
10-2.
Just one step softer, and it might be you should be a little bit more ripping it on the front end down, just a little bit.
10-2.
Yeah, go like, if you are, go like 29.
10-3.
I'd be fine with driving this as a wall.
I'm glad I did too. It's fun. We bought too many toys. Because he got tired of like I don't know if he got tired of opening them up, but he was no longer interested in opening up presents. So well, a couple of the first ones we got on the train like at IKEA. You know, like the wooden little. No, it's no big deal. It's just like it's like a wooden track. Yeah, which I thought was cooler than like the plastic. Yeah, but we did get him a Hot Wheels gigantic thing, right? No, like you know, just little Matchbox cars, Hot Wheels cars. We got him like a little city or something like that. But he opened up the train, and for a good hour after that, there was no more opening presents. He was just we're like, hey, look, I think this is a Hot Wheels. Built in the track, you know. So too many presents. We figured 2 to 3 good things that he likes, and that's it. You know, because he had like 15 things from different people, and some bristle blocks, some ABC blocks, Hot Wheels thing, Hot Wheels cars, train. Yeah, we always do it, but it was fun. It was cool to watch it.
How old is he now, Joey?
What? 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah. And he stands there, he gets mad, he's like, no, Daddy! Let go of me! I tell you, he's kind of stubborn.
Small stubborn at that age.
That's what I hear, so that's good. So he's like, no. I'm like, really?
No.
Really? No, huh?
That's why the panic is get the phone out and shut it off. You'll also be going off.
Yeah, finally running my body.
Better run some controls.
Can't be sporting your colors out there, man.
Have you read it yet?
No. That's why I sit up there. It's like, oh shit, hopefully this thing would take me out.
All right, 17-5 GTR round 3, final round, all the marbles. I don't know, I'm out of whatever those are. Got 3 drivers out there still looking for both Wilcoxes. Rick's making his way out. Chris taking forever as always. John's out there ready to beat up his brand new orange Corvette. Might be a little biased, but I think it's the best looking one out there. Just waiting on Chris to check in. Dave already trying to savage Rick off the track. Race order is correct. 25.5 VTA will be up after this. All right, we got Chris making his way around, taking his warm-up laps. He's checked in, so we got everyone checked in. If you need one more lap, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, park it. All right, straights closed. Rick, Jim, Chris, John, and David is your order. It is still tone start. Rick, Jim, Chris, John, and David. Porsche, Corvette, 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 and then another Corvette probably. Rick, Jim, Chris, John, David. All right. All right. Rick and the Corvettes, round 3. Everybody's going to go on the tone in less than 5. Rick a little squirrely going into that first corner, but he holds everyone off. Looks like some interesting things happening. Absolute chaos. I don't know what's going on, but we got a yellow Corvette going down the straight. It is Chris Wilcox getting passed by David Johnson on the inside. David saying, that's my spot. And on top of that, Chris getting savage. He's on his lid. He's off rolling again, but he's got quite a bit of ground to make up. Meanwhile, David Johnson putting everyone in their place out in the one spot through the chicane down the straight, followed by Rick and John. That's the closest battle right now, that silver Porsche and orange Corvette. John all over the back of Rick. Rick going over. I think that might have been his own fault, but John's going to wait for him, let Rick take the position back, and that's going to get Chris in the mix too. So we got Rick, John, and Chris going down the straight. That's your closest battle right now. That's a 3-car battle for the 3 spot. But it is that red Corvette of David Johnson out front going strong. Jim McGee in the 2 spot. Both of those two have some pretty good breathing room. There's about 3 seconds between David and Jim, and about 4.3 between Jim and everyone else. Looks like John Stout didn't see it, made a move on Rick to take that 3 spot. Down the straight he goes, followed by Rick and then Chris. Looks like John already starting to put some distance between Rick and Chris. That brand new Roche, well, not quite brand new, but brand new to him Roche working quite well. Well enough to throw down the hot lap of a race of a 10.73, almost matching Jim's hot lap from the last round. So we're coming up on 2 minutes into this race, 3 minutes to go with David Johnson still leading him around. Jim McGee holding down that 2 spot, slowly but surely closing in. It was about 3 seconds last time. Now the separation's 1.2. John Stout putting in some work right now. He's closing in on both of them. He's at 2.8 right now. We'll give it a couple laps and see how much time he's made up. Oh, a mistake from Dave's going to see him go into the wall and let Jim get by, but he's able to get moving again before John can get by. So that's going to put closest battle right now between David and John for the 2 spot. But Chris is just hanging in there behind Rick, hoping he's making a mistake or something so he can close that gap and make a move. But meanwhile, John all over the back of Dave. Getting by, Dave going over and over, but that was clean in my book. So now we got Jim out front by quite a bit. John in the 2 spot. Dave 3, Rick 4, and Chris 5.
2 minutes left.
Dave and Rick, the closest battle right now. Rick closing right up on Dave, looking to make a move. Chris just hanging behind him, waiting for the chaos so he can take that spot. Oh, a bit of a tap out of Dave. Another tap, that's going to let Rick get by. Rick just drives right through him. So Dave dropping 2 spots. Rick up to the 3 spot. So Jim, John, Rick, Chris, and David is your order with a minute 30 left. It looks like the closest battle right now is Rick and Chris. That'll be for the 3 spot. Oh, mistake out of Rick going into the chicane. That's going to let Chris go close in. Gap now 4/10. This could get interesting in this last minute of the race. Meanwhile, it looks like David's pulled off. He's had enough.
1 minute left.
That's fair enough. All right, so we still got Jim McGee out front on a 27.509. Nobody is on a better than TQ pace. Nobody has been for just about this whole race. So we got 40 seconds left. Jim, John, Rick, Chris, and David is the order. Closest battle is still Rick and Chris, but those two are staying pretty much about the same distance apart. Top two are actually starting to close in on Rick and Chris, but with 25 seconds left, it doesn't look like there's going to be any lapping action going on. But it looks like John is slowly but surely closing in on Jim. He might just get a chance to make a move on him in this last lap or two of the race. Separation right now is 7/10 between Jim and John. Down the straightaway, those two go this time by 6/10, but time has expired, so it doesn't look like much is going to be happening down the straightaway. Everyone goes.
One's done.
Rick
Three
is
is
done.
done.
Chris is done.
done.
Jim,
Four is done.
John, everybody's done. Jim takes that one. Does not reset TQ though. So going into the main, Rick Wilcox with the TQ. Jim McGee in the 2, Chris 3, John 4, and David 5. That'll be the race order. 25.5 VTA, you guys are up. John Stout, you did have the hot lap of the race with a 10.7.
All right. Just waiting for Ben, David, and Rick to check in there. David, you gonna make this one? Jeez. All right, line them up at the top here. All right, if you're going to run the inverted, all right. So the lineup's going to be Michael, Rick, Russ, David, and Ben. This is a tone start, so we will go at the tone. Can we get one marshal out there, please?
Christopher.
Now watch, Michael's gonna kick our ass. He's gonna take it off. He's been sandbagging. He wants to know.
All right, marshal ready. Driver's ready. Go at the tone, less than 5. Oh, Russ and David get in. Oh, David says, get the hell out of my way. Oh, Michael gets punted in the top. Everybody's swerving around him. Oh, Michael getting savaged out there. Poor Michael. It looked like a tank of piranhas and he was the goldfish. All right, so we got Ben out in front, followed by Rick, David, Russ, and then Michael. David catching up on the back of Mr. Rick there. See if he can make a clean pass. Oh, Michael up. Oh, that was Russ. All clear, though. Oh, David gets it wrong. Let's Rick get away from him. Give some breathing room.
4 minutes left.
Like the lady said, 4 minutes left in the race. Got Ben out in front, followed by Rick, David, Russ, and Michael. Ben's currently on 27.50. Nobody is on better than TQ pace. Ben's got a nice clean field in front of him. Everybody's pretty much spread out fairly decent. David's getting ready to make another run on Rick. See if he can keep it clean. He's got to run his race and not watch the other car. Russ is keeping it nice and clean, just looking for his. Oh, David gets it wrong going onto the straightaway. It's all cleared out, though. Oh, him and Russ get bumped in. Oh, Michael coming up on the back. Oh, Michael gives Russ a little love back. Not intentionally. He's just trying to get in there.
Left.
All right, 3 minutes left in this race. So far, the marshal hasn't had to marshal anybody, I don't think. All right, so Ben's trying to get around Mr. David there. Mr. David's got a fast car. See if Benny can get around him nice and clean. Oh, Michael gets wrong going into the chicane there, it all cleared out. Ben pressuring David, he's all over the back of him. He's making a run. Oh, he takes the inside. Oh, crosses over. Uh-oh. Is Russ's car dead? It's okay. All right, so Russ is out of it. I think we're clear. All right, 2 minutes left in the race. Drivers got Ben out in front, followed by Rick, David, and Michael. Russ is
2 minutes left.
got Michael coming up on the back and Mr. Rick there. Michael's like 2 laps down from you, Rick. I'm just saying if he gets too close to you, if you let him go, he's 2 laps down on you. Rick's like, I ain't gonna give him anything.
1 minute left.
Run that shit. That extra camber help? Oh! That's one way to let them by. Not the preferred. All right, coming up 30 seconds left in the race. Jar still got Ben out front, followed by Rick, David, and Michael. Nobody on a better than TQ pace. Oh, got watch out going around that there, Michael. Go wide, up, clear. Johnson all over that lollipop, seeing what flavor it was.
5's done.
All right, that's the race.
4's done.
Michael, you're done. Rick, you're
1's
done.
done.
Ben, you're done. David, when you cross, you'll be done. David's just calling it. Oh, okay. All right, and David's done. All right, so
done.
Ben takes that with a 27.504. All right, next up is going to be F1. It's going to be Ben, Chris, Joey, and David.
Yeah, step down those side springs before you run. It'll make it way easier to drive. I got back, I looked at my radio, 4.5 volts, mine was dying too. I was like, oh no! I turned the corner right there and I hit the throttle and it was like, I looked at it and it's dead and it's like, oh shit. It's on that full throttle.
All right. Just waiting for Mr. Johnson to check in. For F1, you going to make it? Okay. All right, so everybody's checked in. So the order is going to be Ben, Chris, Joey. Are we doing reverse again? Are we doing reverse again?
Is this not the main?
No. Round 3.
Did you think GTR was the main? Round 3, final round for all the marbles, and I said at the end, Rick, take
All right, so are we doing reverse order, guys? Or are we going, hey, Ben, Chris, are we doing reverse order, or are you guys going to do straight up the way it was? All right, we'll do reverse order. Joey, you're out front. It's set staggered so far, so if you guys want that. Okay, so it's going to be Joey, Chris, and Ben. Marshall's ready, driver's ready. Space yourselves out as you see necessary, less than 5. All right, we got a clean start. Got 3 clean drivers out there, so that'd be a good run. No, Chris takes a little bit of a tube there, his favorite side. Looks like he got himself a new wing. That's great. All right, so after 3 laps, we got Ben out in front on a new TQ pace of a 29.501, followed by Chris and Joey. Chris and Joey are both on 28.504 and 28.510. Looks like Ben's
4
doing pretty good
minutes
through that
left.
chicane. It had his number the other night. Once that thing gets in your head, it's just done. Oh, Chris gets around Joey. Joey lets him by. It's always good to keep from everybody wrecking up. You know, you got fast guy Ben coming up on the back of Joey. All 3 of them coming through the infield. Ben is just so fast with that stinking chicane. All right, coming up on about 3 minutes left in the race. Got Ben out front on a 29.501, Chris on a 28.50, and Joey on a 28.510. Oh, Chris gets around going
3
through the
minutes
chicane.
left.
Oh, you had your chance, Chris.
Oh, gets the springboard into the wall. That's the worst. Right. Well, that would slow everybody down a lot if you actually did put like a springboard curve right there on the wall here, because you can just launch around that. All right. Coming up on 2 minutes left in the race, got Ben out in front still on TQ pace of 29.501. Chris in second, 28.501, and Joey on a 28.509.
2 minutes left.
Ben got a fast lap out of 10.29. Chris is 10.50, and Joey's is a 10.67. Minute and a half left in the race, drivers. Ben's still on that 29.501, new TQ pace. Chris on a 28.501, so he's dropped back about a second. Joey on a 28.508.
One minute left.
1 minute left. So Ben out front, still on that 29.501. Chris on a 28.50, so he gained that second back. See if he can get into the 29s. Joey on a 28.508. Chris's last 5 laps have been very consistent, 10.5s and 10.6s. Ben's has been pretty consistent also, 10.4s and 10.3s. That's the time, drivers. Keep going until I tell you you're done.
2 is done.
Chris, you're done.
1 is
Ben,
done.
you're done, and Joey,
3
you're
is
done.
done.
All right, Ben takes that reset and TQ with the 29.502. Chris at 28.50, and Joey at 28.509. All right, practice is open. What time do we want to start mains? It's 10:42 right now, or 8:42 right now.
Let's start at 9.
We got half hour.
Half hour, yep. All right, so we'll start at 9:15.
I feel like I'm doing 10 o'clock.
definitely won't go in my queue. I don't know. This time we're here 6. Does this have a flip-over thing?
Yeah. Hit it once, now hit it again. One more time. No, you're on the race. There you go. Oh, that will flip if you go over too hard.
Yeah, I realized that when I watched it flip.
I'm gonna try it in acro mode on the next battery. If you're gonna flip, you have to add throttle.
Yeah, I'm not trying to flip it.
You still got battery. Never reset it.
Yeah, it's a 1S, right? Yeah, it's still a 3 too.
Yeah, it'll tell you no battery. That's it.
11-3.
That's when they're gonna get you there at the race. I've got to switch to it.
I don't know why.
10-8.
No.
10-9.
One, and you gotta work on the next one.
10-5. 10-5. 10-5.
No.
10-6.
10-6.
10-4.
Better?
10-4.
Grab it.
Let me try it with the spool. That's alright. I'll fit this spool. Give me so much time.
By the pool, are you?
11-2. 10-9. 11-0. 10-6. 10-6. 10-9. 11-3.
11 minutes, 27 seconds.
10-8. 10-5. 10-6. 10-5. 10-4. 10-5. 10-5.
'Since you're wrecked, did I don't remember if it was your F1 or GTR, whichever one the servo saver was just like fucking really weak.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, one of your cars, it looked like the servo saver was actually rubbing on the servo itself. So you might want to check what your
Yeah,
car's.
I spaced it in between the servos.
Yeah, to do that, the servo I'm currently running.
37.2.
10-5. 11-5. 10-6. 10-9. 10-6. 11-0. 10-6. 10-7. 10-5. 10-9. 10-5. 10-8. 10-7. 10-8. 10-6. 10-9. 10-6. 10-9. 10-6. 11-1. 10-5. 11-0. 10-5. 10-9. 10-6. 10-6.
10-6. If that. Yeah, we'll probably do some talking with him. Four seconds late.
Hey Rick, I'm at a full run on my EPA.
Race will start in 10 seconds.
5, 4, 3. Oh wait,
Damn.
we're still going.
Who the hell's the announcer?
You don't need no speaking announcer. You don't need no speaking.
Styles hungry.
Gotta live or feed. Gotta hook up a little speaker thing in there so when you give y'all some.
Traxxas makes that thing is
Oh, is it?
so loud. Is Dave gonna make it?
Dave, you making it? Yeah. He's gonna make it. Don't worry.
Two starts walking out. Did you notice we put the like your
All right.
red heat shrink on both of them for you?
It's mains time. We need everybody to check in. Dave's making his way, walking up the driver's stand now. He's the last one we were looking for. Chris, first one to check in. All right, everybody's checked in. Once you're done with your warm-up laps, park them and we'll get them lined up. All right, Rick, Jim, Chris, John, and David is your order. Straight is closed. Rick, Jim, Chris, John, and David. Rick Wilcox with the TQ tonight by a country mile.
I need some help. I was watching Chris's car, and
He's all the way up in the front corner on the cone.
He was not looking at my car.
You're like,
Your
"Wow,
fan
he's not
sounds
really turning when I'm
awful.
turning it."
When it's on the ground, it's all vibrating. and
I
whatnot.
know, when you pick it up, it's fine.
I think it's the body just vibrating on the posts.
Yeah.
I'd fix it. I'd never be caught with a body like vibrating or shaking on the car. Must have been looking at his the other car again. Michael, if you could grid him up, I seem to have found myself all the way back up here and can't do it.
That looks good.
Jim's not happy. Make it perfect. All right, that looks good. All right. All right, this is it. 17.5 GTR A main. Once again, TQ Rick Wilcox. TQ Rick Wilcox. Did easily beat everyone. All right.
My diff's getting cold.
All right, GTR, A main, shut up, you have a spool. Everybody is gonna go on the tone, less than 5. Oh, getting savaged from first to last. Jim McGee taking no prisoners. Bumping Rick out of the way, taking that one spot. Chris trying that inside line. Oh, lots of chaos happening. Chris bumping some stuff, causing some stuff to happen. After all of that, Jim with a pass on Chris. He's got a body tuck. Chris with a body tuck. Russ getting to that. So after all of that chaos, we got the orange Corvette of John Stout out front going down the straightaway. That red Biddy design Venom of Dave behind him. Rick in the 3 spot. Jim in the 4. Chris in the 5 after an unfortunate body tuck. So down the straight, everybody is going. John Stout leading him around, starting to put some distance between him and the rest of the field. He's making that Roche work. Dave following
minutes
him.
left.
Rick looking like he's starting to close in on Dave right now. He's 1.1 back from David on that lap. We'll see what he is this time. Dave through the chicane down the straight. Rick following him. Across the line, those two go. 8/10 exactly between them. Rick closing that gap. But closing the gap and making the pass are two different things. He's got plenty of time to make it happen. That is the closest battle on the track, though, the battle for the 2 spot between Rick and David. But Jim McGee closing in on those two as well. Down the straight he goes. 6/10 between him and Rick, putting him and Rick actually the closest battle right now. All 3 of those, it's kind of a 3-way battle for the 2 spot right now. Chris hanging back a little bit, trying to close that distance. But it's John Stout and that orange Corvette out front just doing work.
3 minutes left.
2 down, 3 to go in this GTR A main. Jim right up on Rick through the chicane. Down the straight they go. 1/10.5 between them. Jim is going to be looking for any opportunity to make a pass on Rick. Oh, Rick with a mistake through the chicane. Jim going right through into that 3 spot, but Rick's going to be sticking to his bumper. Oh, a little tap out of Jim going into the chicane, but it's not enough for Rick to capitalize on. Oh, mistake out of Rick on that right side. That's going to give Jim plenty of breathing room to catch up to David, next person in front of him. So through the crosstown, those two go. Jim closing the distance pretty quick. Through the chicane down the straight, those two go. Separation between them is 2/10. Oh, Jim looks like he was going for a move, but they bump, and Dave's going to keep the spot.
2 minutes left.
So 3 down, 2 to go. John Stout out for a Sunday drive. Things finally working out. He is just doing work, not even worried about anyone else. But it is Dave and Jim right now, the closest battle, that battle for the 2 spot. Through the crosstown, those two go. Separation, about 1/10.5 still. Oh, looks like Dave, bit of a rough line through the chicane. Oh, Jim on the inside, beautiful pass out of him. Jim up to the 2 spot, wastes no time in putting some distance between him and Dave. Down the straight he goes. John, Jim, Dave, Rick, and Chris is the order. Oh, looks like, a mistake out of Jim. Dave tries to capitalize, but they get together. Dave comes off worse. Oh, rough line through the chicane's going to see Dave get absolutely savage. Drives into the leader, ends up marshaling him. But that was just vengeful.
1 minute left.
But it's all right. John's far enough ahead. It doesn't really do much. So after all of this chaos, John, Jim, Chris, David, and Rick is the order. Looks like Rick having a rough time pulling his car, dropping all the way back. Our TQ driver is not going to finish. Looks like his car is broken. Something's going on. So John, Jim, Chris, and David right now. It looks like Chris and David is the closest battle, but there's quite a bit of time between them, 2.1. Everyone else is at least double, if not a lap. John is he's just slaughtering everyone. You guys got work to do. Maybe paint your bodies orange or something like that. Time has expired.
3 is done.
Chris is
4 is
already
done.
done. John, done.
5's done.
David, down the straightaway.
2 is
Jim's
done.
done. Everyone is done. John taking that one. Almost tone to tone, doing work. Jim taking the fast lap yet again. We all know that means that actually is what matters here. All right, 25.5 VTA, you guys are up.
Ouch. All right, the lineup's going to be Ben, David, Russ, Rick, and Michael.
Dave, is your F1 charged? Is your F1 charged?
What you guys doing?
Is it charged? Your F1 phone?
Yeah. And go.
Yeah, back in the wall. Back
Yeah,
in.
they back into the wall.
We're doing crazy, crazy start now.
Sweet jackass style.
True jackass style. Ricky Bobby style.
That's right, Jim qualified seven.
Yeah, I stopped watching that shit when I saw some dude stapling his fucking nutsack to some board.
Yeah, we got Ricky Bobby and Jimmy Johnson. No, do it to the red one.
Won't make a difference.
I'm coming out full bore anyway.
Come on, full board no matter what.
All right. Marshall's ready.
Not really.
Driver's ready. Oh, less than 5. Oh, Russ takes out the back of Dave. Oh, some bump and grind between Rick and David. Ben gets a clean start, gets out of there. Got Russ and Michael. They've got some battling history going on. Oh, Michael takes a nice inside move on Russ. Uh-oh. Ben's got some engine problems going on. Oh, David's got that rear slide going there on them left-hand turns. All right, the running order has been Michael, Russ, Rick, and David. First, second, third, all going onto the straightaway.
4 minutes left.
See if Russ can keep it clean, catch up to the two. Michael and Ben are having some good fun up there in first and second. I think Ben's flux capacitor keeps kicking in and out, causing the whatchamacallit to make the smabbits stop working. Oh, that last little tumble lets Russ catch up a little bit on the backside of Michael there. Looks like Ben got that flux capacitor back online. Needs a few more beer cans and banana pills in that thing.
Three minutes left.
3 minutes left in the race, drivers. Still got Ben out in front, followed by Michael, Russ, Rick, and David. Got a good little battle getting ready to go on between Russ and Michael. Oh, just like the Ford and Chevy battles going on. Ben had a little bit more problems there. Uh-oh. Clear. Oh, David finds a tube again, unfortunately. He likes that lollipop. Jeez. Everybody making that a straight shot through there. Michael just drove over the side of it. Oh, Ricky Bobby makes a move on Mr. Johnson. Oh, Johnson
2
takes
minutes
out the back.
left.
Oh, and he reciprocates the favor. Ricky Bobby's been in this game a long time. Looks like Ben and Michael broke away from the second, third and fourth. Ben trying to make that Pontiac work out there. I think he's running on like 6 cylinders now. About 1 minute left in the race. Drivers got Ben out front, followed by Michael, Russ, Rick, and David.
1 minute left.
David trying to make a last-minute run on Mr. Ricky Bobby. He's got a faster car if he can just keep the lines clean. But you never know. Mr. Johnson's got a bad glaucoma problem. Oh. Michael gets around Ben. Ben's trying to come back. Find a little bit more horsepower. Maybe that 7 cylinders now. Michael gonna make that car 12 lanes wide. Oh, he pushes out, lets Ben right by him. At his time.
3 is done.
Russ, you're done.
2 is done.
David, you're done.
4 is done.
Rick, you're done.
1 is
Ben,
done.
you're done, and
5's
Michael,
done.
you're done. So Ben takes that with a 27.509, Michael with 27.510, Russ 26.502, Rick with a 26.507, and David 25.506. All right, next up, F1. Here we have a switch out with a team driver.
It's interesting to Chris. I'm gonna tell you right now that car has the most turn in of like any car.
Dope.
I'm sure you're probably gonna be faster.
I already drove it. I was slow with it though.
Man, I didn't change that gear either. Brakes on your left thumb.
Yeah, his F1's fast as shit. It's kind of a weird phrase, fast as shit. It's not even like an oxymoron. Well, I'm not going to deny that. I guess shit's fast when it goes through the fan. Yeah, Joey left, so it's just, I guess, just Ben and Chris.
Yeah, I know. That car has nothing.
You guys should do a motorcycle start, like right next to each other.
This isn't my car.
Oh, you ain't gonna do anything more than what David's ever done to that thing.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, Marshall's ready. Driver's ready. Go at the tone. Oh, they both get sideways. Nice. Oh.
Now, if you let it beat you, it's because you let it beat you. Then Griffin 10 overs and 10 ones with it.
I don't think I got a 10-0 with it. Definitely a 10-1.
Ben's definitely got that chicane now.
4 minutes left.
All right, 4 minutes left. Ben got a fast lap out there of 10-1. He's got a couple of them.
Got chicane. You got that chicane down.
Ben's currently on a 29.50, and Chris is currently on a 29.509. It's about, well, 7 seconds now separating the two of them.
7 cents or 7 seconds?
Seconds. Ben's on, if he keeps going, he's gonna be on a 30 lap. He's at 29.50. Yeah, that's not, he's got that chicane down. Oh, just as he say that. It was his nemesis not so long
3
ago.
minutes left.
3 minutes left in the race, drivers. Now he's gonna go through it.
Nobody's watching the chicane.
Yep, fast lap 10.3 on David's car. 2 minutes left in the race,
2
drivers.
minutes left.
Still got Ben out in front at a 29.50. Chris 29.507 now. 7 seconds separating the two of them. I think that chicane's got getting in Ben's head a little bit. Oh.
One minute left.
Like the lady said, 1 minute left. 30 seconds left. Ben slowly pulling away. About a second separating them now. All right, that's time.
One's done.
All
Four is
right.
done.
Race is complete. Ben takes that at 29.506.
Dave, you got ball disc, right? You have a ball disc in here? I was dipping it out so much.
It probably had like 3, but I turned it half of it out. So it's here to still.
I was searching again on that shit, so I just hear.
Mine's doing it in every point. I know this car will be money in the NHIC. It's not NHIC rare right now, but it's close enough.
Has Bryant PM'd anybody yet? I blocked him.
Did you actually block him?
That'd be funny as hell, that.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out and racing tonight.
15-0.
That's all I have to say.